Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400.
Are you sure?
I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
Good news for people who love their country, who love America, want to see it come back to its glory. The Kamala campaign, every single time these people get in front of any semblance of a camera or any semblance of PR, it just turns into an absolute disaster. It turns into an absolute nightmare. I can't imagine what the PR manager, because you know they've got, mega millions of dollars backing them, Soros, et cetera, they've got to have the best PR team on the planet, right? I mean, you've got to just envision being in their head right now, watching these people, and just, they're losing their mind. They've got to be just clawing at the walls, like, what can I do to make these guys look good? What you just saw right there was obviously a parody of Tim Walz's unbelievably pathetic attempt at proving to America that he's a man. I'm going to share with you some more clips from his so-called pheasant hunting expedition today. Hey, everybody, I'm not as weird as you think. I'm a real man. And he can't even load. He can't even load his shotgun. I'll show you some footage there. Then I'm going to show you Meghan McCain blasting Kamala Harris, who gives a drunken, ridiculous, off-script story. I mean, she sounds literally drunk. If she's not drunk, it should scare the living crap out of every American. I back Dana White's statements that he made recently online where he said, this woman can't put a sentence together. It should scare the crap out of every single American. 100%. I've been saying it for months, if not years. Meghan McCain blasts Kamala Harris's off-script, off-teleprompter, I think, story about what John McCain said about her. Oh, this one's good. Stick around for that. As we are 25 days away from the most important election of our ever-loving natural-born lives, it just gets worse and worse for these two. Not even the darling of the Democratic Party, superhero Barack Obama, who's getting a ton of backlash, not even he can help these two out when he literally treated Black America like a bunch of robotic dogs, saying, you need to get in line, pal. You guys can't be voting for Trump. Your voting for Trump is unacceptable. Literally pouncing on the constitutional right of every free American to vote for who they choose. So here you see
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was out pheasant hunting in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota, taking part in the 12th annual Governor's Pheasant Hunting Opener. This comes, friends, as we know that they're going to have Walz doing sort of a blitz, reaching out to men, young men, voters they know, 50-50 swing vote. They know they need to get them.
So in a pathetic attempt, as you heard from the announcer there, I don't even know who that was on MSNBC, saying that they're trying to prove to the world, Tim Walz is trying to prove to the world that he's a man. He goes out on this pheasant hunting expedition, supposedly, with his PR team and cameras in tow. And when he's actually put to the task to get things rolling and start the hunting trip, watch how he can't even load his shotgun in the PR disaster, the nightmare that has become of this entire campaign.
Never fits quite right.
Never fits quite right. Just not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
He can't load the shotgun. He's trying to sound like he knows what he's talking about. If you know the gun and you say you've been a gun owner forever, just like your ridiculous charlatan running mate, why can't you load? It's the easiest thing in the world, especially if it's your own gun, to load your own shotgun. He spends nearly a half a minute. I mean, this is insane. He spends nearly a half a minute trying to load this thing, and embarrassingly, he kind of just gives up at the end. This, to me, I've said this time and time again, this entire campaign is completely a huge, undeniable, unequivocal fraud. It's a big charade. They're just a bunch of charlatans, and they can't hide it anymore. Here's a clip of him. Supposedly, he finally got his gun loader. Somebody probably helped him off camera. I didn't get any footage of that. Here's him supposedly getting ready to shoot Pheasant. He didn't shoot one single shot. Watch. Just sitting there like a bunch of dummies. Does that look like somebody who has a long-standing history of hunting acumen behind him? He's not even holding his rifle right. Is that your ready position? Boy, if that is not pathetic, I don't know what is. Trying to prove to the entire country that you're a man and failing in the most disastrous fashion imaginable right in front of rolling cameras. It's just beautifully delicious to see Americans wake up. It's beautifully delicious to see karma in 3D Technicolor. It is beautifully delicious to finally see the truth come out about this entire venomous anti-American Marxist leftist party that doesn't give a rat's ass about you and definitely doesn't give a rat's ass about me. Now, I can't wait. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of the whole Tim Walz fake man tampon Tim charade. I can't wait to read your comments on this. Watch as Meghan McCain comments on this crazy, wild, ridiculous, absurd, cringy, drunken rant by Kamala, who talks about something that former Senator John McCain, God rest his soul, veteran of the military. Listen to this crazy story. To me, it sounds absolutely absurd, and then it's only confirmed by what Meghan says. Meghan McCain, his daughter. Watch this.
Late into the night, and in the Senate, you walk onto the Senate floor, and there are these big wooden ornate doors, and those ornate doors opened. And John McCain came out. He's going after me. And I'm going back after him.
She's drunk.
And that was it. And this is what the public saw. And then I step onto the floor of the well of the Senate later that day. We had votes. And I passed by John McCain. And he looks at me and he says, "Kid, come over here.
Oh.
You're going to make a great senator."
So great. So
True
great.
story.
No, it's not.
I'm not thrilled with this because I just find that maybe it did happen. To me, it doesn't sound like him. And I tweeted after I saw it that I'm really just, for me personally, on a personal level, Democrats really want to turn my dad into a progressive liberal that 6 years after his death, he's now just the most liberal progressive that ever existed when he's one of the most conservative senators in American modern history. It's getting to the point of being disrespectful the way everyone is talking about him, because I find so much of it, it just doesn't sound like him. And we were obviously incredibly close, and I worked with him both professionally and, we were very close personally. And it's hard. I don't like it. And I remember what he actually said about Vice President Harris in private. I actually was remembering a specific dinner party with something he said, which I don't want to be disrespectful or uncouth and share it.
Could have been good,
but it just doesn't. It just sounds like not real to me.
I'll ask you a question about it. You can pass, of course. Is what she said in characterizing what she claimed was a conversation with your dad he said you make a great senator? Is that consistent with your sense of what he thought of her?
No, not at all. And there's one thing in particular. There's one dinner that I was at with him and some other politicians I can remember very specifically something he said about her. And again, I don't want to get into some kind of match with the Harris campaign, but I just he was not a Democrat. He was so far from it. And her stance on Israel alone would gross him out. So I just, and Afghanistan and the economy and the border, and I also think it's just very strange that Democrats can't get any other way to prove their bipartisan bona fides other than bringing up a dead senator. Have you done nothing else in your life? You have this obscure story that I've never heard her say, I've never heard, period. Maybe it did happen. Maybe it did not I didn't work with him all the time, but I've never heard it before. She never felt the need to share it before, except 24 days before the election in Arizona when your for by all intents and purposes, from everything I've heard from you and many other places that's being reported, she's flatlining with independence.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and believe the daughter, the actual family member, the blood relative of John McCain, over somebody who's literally lied her entire career, literally has zero qualifications, zero skills, lied the biggest, most egregious lie, which I wish Trump would just make an ad or Trump would talk about more. If anybody watches this channel who works for Trump or who is an advisor to Trump, I beseech you, please heed this. The ultimate biggest lie is the fact that Kamala Harris did not alert the American public that we had a vegetable for president for 4 years who made undeniable consequential decisions on behalf of not just hundreds of millions of people, but because America is the leader of the free world, potentially billions of people. And we're seeing the consequences of her not telling the truth about Tombstone Biden across the entire world as the entire world erupts in total, complete bedlam. I'm going to go ahead and believe Meghan. Yeah, I think I'm going to believe Meghan. How about you? Let me know in the comments down below. You heard what Meghan McCain said, you guys. We are only, it's insane to think. I get shivers. I get emotional. We're so close to the ultimate day, November 5th. And it is just so beautiful and delicious to see these guys crumble, literally melt before our eyes because they have nothing to stand on. And one thing that she said that was so poignant, why can't you guys stand on anything that is outside or external to Donald Trump and to weird, strange, bizarre anecdotes, standing on the crutches of Obama's change and hope garbage and everything else? Why can't you stand on your own 2 feet? Their only play is to talk about Project 2025, which has absolutely no bearing on this election, has absolutely no relevancy to Trump. He's disavowed it, is not anything anywhere near his policies or his plan or his strategy to make our country glorious again. Why can't you guys, instead of engaging in lie after lie, Charlottesville, the border bill, which is such an egregious lie, January 6th, and God knows how many other just really unbelievably evil lies that they keep spreading over and over, backed by the fake woke mafia media. Why can't you stand on your own 2 feet? Every American needs to ask that serious question. Why can't you go on your own convictions, your own plan, your own strategy, because you don't have any, and your own track record, which is abysmal, and your own credibility, which is invisible, doesn't exist? You have to ask these questions, especially at the ballot box. I can't wait to see and read your comments. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of all of this stuff. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. I welcome all viewpoints on this channel as long as they're constructive and they engage in critical thinking. Any personal ad hominem attacks, any links, it goes straight to spam. I don't even bother. It's automatic. It goes straight to spam. I've done all the parameters. But if you have something to say, leave a comment. I'll read it. I'll respond to it. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Follow and subscribe by tapping my face right there if you haven't already. The best thing you can do is sign up for our free, it's free, newsletter in the pinned comment, show notes, and descriptions. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.